Hey you guys, this is Moonlander, and I wanted to start a new video series where I try to do this at least once a week, where I talk about movie news, gaming news, and more importantly, horror news. Now my channel is intended to be horror focused. I do some books, but I don't only read horror. Like recently I just read this Brothers book about the Duplass Brothers. Okay, so I thought that I would like this book because I heard them interviewed on Jim and Sam, or Sam and Jim podcast. But anyway, the interview was interesting, and I'm a fan of the Creep movies, and I know that they produced Rainbow Time, and now that is my favorite comedy. Like, it doesn't get much funnier than that to me.
Hey! Yeah, hey!
Does that say ah?
No.
Pretty sure it says ah.
So I bought this book right away, and I read it, and I didn't enjoy one chapter out of it. It's supposed to be like inspirational to aspiring filmmakers, I would think, but more than them inspiring, I felt like they were rubbing it in our faces. And they really are fascinated with their own relationship, and I didn't find any of it interesting. It was mostly obnoxious. And now I'm sorry to say, like, I do not care for these guys. I hope I can enjoy Creep 3, because those are amazing found footage movies. They're really entertaining.
Are you just trying to scare me? Or... Okay, well, I'm terrified, okay?
But as far as everything else about these guys, like, they don't even talk about Rainbow Time or Creep in this book. So I really am not sure that I would like these guys. A lot of their first movies I've never seen. I remember looking at Baghead in the video store and being like, I'm not watching that. But anyway, so yeah, I read that, and before that, my boss lent me a book. That's a series about a middle-aged detective. Well, he's in his 50s. And it took me a long time to read that one. You know, it's what I call a grocery store paperback, and I didn't like it at all. I mean, it might have been halfway entertaining if... Oh, there's a show of it on Amazon called Bosch. And I tried it, and I didn't like the show either. I just think that guy needs to be way more of an asshole. And it'd be, you know, at least somewhat entertaining. But anyway, I bought her Atomic Lobster, which is the first Tim Dorsey book I ever read. And I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I read it more than once, and I tried to get everyone to read it. But she hasn't mentioned it, so I don't even know if she liked it. But now that's a series about a murderer. Now I did see in the last few weeks the Suspiria remake trailer. And now I am a huge fan of the original. I have a poster of the movie in my dining room, and my wife lets me keep it there. So, look, some people cringe when they hear they're remaking a classic. And I'm one of them. Sometimes that just doesn't need to be done. But if you love something as much as I love Suspiria, it doesn't matter if I know it's gonna suck. I still want to see it. Now, I did not feel that way about the American version of Inside. There's no way that movie was going to live up to the French one. I think it's one of the best horror movies ever made. But anyway, the trailer looks good and it looks like its own movie. It looks creepy. My favorite genre is witch. But it's really hard to find good witch movies. And now I also did see in the last couple weeks that there is a new Doom movie being filmed. And now to me this is really exciting because that's another example of being in love with something so much that you don't care what the finished product is. You're still going to like it and you're still going to be disappointed. So I'm really excited. It says it's supposed to be like straight to DVD, so it probably doesn't have a great budget, but the production photos look promising. I just wouldn't expect too much action or practical effects. Is that too much to ask? And then finally, I'll throw this in at the end because I don't do a lot of gaming on my channel. I used to do horror games. I used to do all games, but I can't do the horror games. I mean, I enjoy the experience, but I wish it was more passive. But anyway, I still do play a lot of games. So recently, I just finished Far Cry 5. And I have to say, I absolutely hated it that I spent $60 on that game. I ran into a glitch on a story quest, so I could not progress through the game until I just happened to find another quest that wasn't marked on the map. And that allowed me to finish the game. That really irritated me. But anyway, so Far Cry 5, it sounded like it could potentially be really cool. And now I did see footage of the gameplay before it came out, and it looked a lot like the previous ones. And I mean, it is getting kind of stale. So anyway, I still got it because I couldn't resist. I like cult type stories. They're usually interesting on some level. And I thought it was cool that it was in Montana and they were going to have fishing in it. Like, I thought it'd be fun. But right away, I hated this game. The writing is the first thing that disappointed me. It is completely uninspired. I skipped like 90% of the cutscenes or skippable dialogue. And the characters in the game even give you grief about it. But yeah, I couldn't stand the writing for this game. They completely wasted a good opportunity of a religious nut job cult in Montana. Now, that's a fun idea. You can do a lot of fun things with it, but they don't do any fun things with it. It sucks. And now there's a talent tree, there's crafting, and it's all completely useless. Like, I never used it. The only stuff I did in the game is because I wanted to get a high trophy count. Now, when I started the game, I was like, holy shit, this game is fucking easy. Like, what the hell? And it doesn't prompt you to choose a difficulty before you start. But I had already experienced enough of the story. I wanted to get through the game as fast as I possibly could. So I didn't go into the options later when I found out and put it on hard. I play all shooters on hard because it makes the game funner, but this one was so bad in its story that I couldn't stand to get, I just couldn't wait to get through it. So anyway, I do not suggest buying Far Cry 5. That glitch, I was gonna write a letter because I paid $60 and I can't even finish this game. And I saw updates and it still didn't change what was going wrong for me. And the story, I watched a review of it on Dishonored Wolf. I believe it is his channel. He was saying that he pointed out how no matter where you go, because you can go anywhere on the map at any time, no matter what story quest you do, it has no effect on the story. So they're completely irrelevant. Yeah, so they didn't put a lot of effort into this. Oh, and not to mention the stupid radio. It's either like just this terrible, maybe modern day rock and roll or religious music. I think that's it. I don't know. I shut it off as soon as I figured out how. Alright, you guys, I'll see you on the next video, whether it be another discussion video or a movie review. I do have a couple in my list. I'm just trying to decide if I really want to watch them. Now, this one I read about is called Angst, and it's supposed to be like this ultra disturbing killer movie, and now I am curious to watch that. I got The Green Room because it's by that production company that puts out a lot of interesting movies, but I don't know if I'll review it. I haven't seen it. It's just something about the front of it bothers me, and it has that dude that died in it. Alright, you guys, well, I'll see you on the next video.